professor of art in Chicago, Michael Bonesteel, has resigned, claiming that a small cadre of militant LGBT students with an authoritative agenda created a toxic environment for him. And it says here, citing a toxic environment that feels more like a police state, Bonesteel alleged that student complaints to administrators resulted in him being told he was not allowed to teach future classes on comic books, causing his teaching load to be reduced to a level that would have rendered him ineligible for health insurance benefits. Well, hey man, we always got Obamacare. The first complaint, Bonesteel said, arose during a discussion of Henry Darger, a Chicago artist known for depicting representatives of young girls with penises in his comic books, whose work Bonesteel had studied extensively. Bonesteel recounted presenting a theory which he claims is considered plausible by many scholars that the shocking images might be related to possible childhood sexual abuse. According to Bonesteel, a transgender student objected to the discussion, arguing that there was no proof that Darger was sexually abused and therefore I was wrong in proposing the theory. When Bonesteel defended the theory, he claims that the transgender student filed a complaint with the administration, resulting in Bonesteel needing to meet with a diversity counselor and post an apology on the school website. Because clearly he did something wrong. 2 days after the first incident, a different student launched into what Bonesteel describes as a long diatribe about perceived anti-Semitic attitudes of the author of a book that the class had been assigned to read. And it was called Man of Tomorrow, Geeks, Gangsters, and the Birth of the Comic Book by Gerard Jones. The exchange heated up, according to Bonesteel, as the student proceeded to launch in a diatribe against the school's policies towards minorities and transgender students, while leveling accusations of racism and homophobia directly at Bonesteel, whose failure to use trigger warnings in class apparently aggravated the student as well. That student, too, made a complaint to the administration. The resulting letter from the dean informed Bonesteel that the school had determined that it is more likely than not that your conduct in relation to this student constituted harassment based on gender identity in violation of the school's policy against discrimination, harassment, and retaliation. The very same incident would come back to haunt Bonesteel again several months later when another student filed another complaint saying that they were troubled by the incident, after which Bonesteel was informed that he would no longer be teaching courses about comic books in the future. While the SAIC did not respond to requests from Campus Reform to confirm the professor's account of the events, Bonesteel told the reader that he was also told on May 30th to significantly revamp his other courses by replacing materials by outsider art scholars with new readings from academic journals. Moreover, without the comic books courses, he no longer taught enough hours to qualify for health insurance benefits. Bonesteel said that he could have lived with making changes to his courses, but that to be labeled discriminatory and charged with sexual harassment because I got into a heated debate with a hostile student who happened to be transgender, and for that student's accusations of sexual harassment to be credited, and for my account and those of several other student witnesses to be discredited, seems entirely unfair. Then to be punished by refusing to let me teach 3 comic book courses in which I invested 12 years of time and effort and love, and in the process take away my health insurance benefits. These were the conditions that I found unacceptable. In his resignation letter, In his resignation letter, dated June 12th, Bonesteel protested what he called abuse of Title IX protections, explaining that it is my contention that I have been unfairly vilified and demonized by a small cadre of militant LGBT students with an authoritative agenda. Neither Bonesteel nor the SAIC responded to multiple requests for comment from Campus Reform. So I'll leave a link to this in the description below. I'm actually going to do a little bit of that and get it archived. And let me know what you guys think. This right here is the reason people like myself won't ever go to school. I'm a little tongue-tied today. This type of mindless garbage from these, I don't even know what you would call them, just indoctrinated morons. They've been so dedicated to cultural Marxism and always finding an oppressor and people who are oppressed that they see it everywhere they look. And this is where it leads. So it's always important to be careful. And I would encourage you all to not go to college. go to the Khan Academy and read everything. Get all the information for free online. School, if you know what you're going to take and know exactly how you're going to implement your knowledge from school, then yeah, go to college. But a lot of people who go there with no idea of what they want to do with themselves end up getting a useless degree in a field they're not interested in. So, yeah, that's all I got to say about this. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. And I'll leave a link to the full article in the description below so you can check it out for yourself. But I will be back later tonight. I will probably be putting up a video really late night. As for the swordfish, I looked into it quite a bit, and I still plan on doing a video on Corey Feldman and a bunch of other interesting things regarding alleged Hollywood pedophilia. However, I have reasons to believe that the swordfish leaks might be a potential act of disinformation. Basically, to make a long story short, there's a guy who used to work for BuzzFeed. His name's David Seaman. And a lot of people on both Vote and 4chan are saying that this David Seaman is also behind a Twitter profile called Victory to the Light, who is followed by President Barack Obama. And as far as I know, President Barack Obama was actually his first follower, which is really strange. But both them, David Seaman, and Swordfish seem to all be the same person. And which is why I'm hesitant to want to talk about all the leaks, because it wasn't really... It's just more Pizzagate stuff. Pictures of Miley Cyrus with a bunch of pizza. And more creepy art. And basically the information alleges that there are multiple places like Comet Ping Pong out there, which isn't too far-fetched, but I did want to explain why I haven't done Swordfish lately. I keep reading about it every night, and then last night, finding a reasonable amount of speculation that he's disinformation, I think it might be best to leave that information alone. But there is still other stuff regarding Hollywood pedophilia that I'd like to take a look at, so I'll probably do a video on that later tonight, and that'll also include my speculations on Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington. Here's the odd thing. The stories, the PolitiFact and the Snopes articles about Chester Bennington definitely not being involved in a underground pedophile ring, those stories came out before anybody saw the theories on social media. And it's just weird that the defense came out before anyone even said anything. There's a few things like that, a few inconsistent details that I think would be interesting to take a look at, especially because Chester Bennington looks like he could be a clone of John Podesta. Not sure I believe in the whole cloning thing, but they have the exact same facial structure. It's pretty creepy. But I'm going to go ahead and leave you there. Let me know what you guys think about all this, and I will see you later.